Hey guys, it's Jonathan here from Set Sail and Rivers and Robots, and today we're doing a little live stream where I'm going to answer some questions all about the Spring EP that I just released, part of the Seasons project, which has been my little side project thing I've been doing over this year to write an EP for every season of the year, each one being a different style. Winter came out in February, that was a sort of chilled acoustic folk kind of EP, and Spring just came out last week on Friday, and it is, I guess, more of a jazz hip hop feel, something slightly different for me, but I had a lot of fun making it, so I thought I'd give an opportunity for people to ask questions now that it's been out a little bit, and I'll try and answer as many of those as I can. So first I'm going to answer some questions that came in through Instagram. For those that are watching on YouTube right now, feel free to type in any questions you want to ask, and I'll try and answer as many of those as I can as well. So let's start with so Life Loving It, I don't know if you can see that, I'm using like the dodgy Instagram on an iPad, asked, question one, where did your musical inspiration for Spring come from? A lot of different places. I've been trying to make tracks for the vlog channel that are kind of it's hard to describe what they are. It's kind of like lo-fi hip-hop, very chilled hip-hop style, but with kind of nice jazzy chords and a bit of guitar, and they kind of make nice beats for just watching video content, and you see these kind of beats on videos all over the place, so I was trying to make sure it was still a bit unique as well. But I've not heard many tracks of that style that actually have vocals as well and are actually like written songs, so I guess the idea was to take the style of those tracks that I used to make for the vlog and write lyrics to some of them and try and turn them into fully fledged songs. So that was the plan, that was the musical inspiration. Two of my favourite producers, I guess, are probably like Jay Dilla and a Japanese guy called Nujabes, or Nujabes, or however you want to pronounce his name. It's kind of a made up word of his name spelled backwards anyway. But yeah, they're two of my favourites and definitely a big inspiration in terms of like sampling and the kind of beats that they create. So yeah, that's where the inspiration came from. Question two, can we use the Seasons project on our channel? Send me an email, it's probably the best thing to do. If you can email info@timetosetsail.com if you want to use songs and videos and that kind of thing, then we can chat about whatever channel you run and whether it will work for the project. Okay, 2014 June asked, what instrument do you use to play the songs in the Spring EP? This Nord right here, I don't know if you can see that, there we go, this one. So this is a Nord Electro 5D. I normally use the piano sound for like Rivers and Robots stuff, but for this EP, there's a lot of electric piano sounds. I've got the Vibey Rhodes setting on right now, but basically, I don't know if I can tilt this down a little bit. There we go. So basically I was playing around with like minor ninth chords, so like a C minor 9 is that. So the very first track on the EP is called With You. That starts off with this kind of chord, and then like an F. So that was kind of the main starting point for most tracks on this EP. I would sit down at the Nord and kind of come up with some jazzy electric piano chords, and then record that into Ableton, track a hip hop beat over the top, and playing that in with like MIDI sounds, and then layer in bass and maybe guitar, and then vocals on top of that. 2014 June also asked, is there somewhere I can find the chords of the songs? Not at the moment. I haven't taken the time to figure out what the chords are. I actually play by ear when I write a lot of this stuff, so I kind of go back in reverse and listen to the songs and try and figure out what chords I wrote there. So if there are a lot of people that would like the chords, I'll go back and write them out. Now, somebody asked, I actually can't find, oh, here we go. So it's 1:35 AM, asked a question for the Q&A, are you planning on playing any of your EP music live when you come to tour in the US? No, we're going to be doing, that's just a Rivers and Robots tour exclusively. There'll be no solo EP songs on that tour. Or, you know, I kind of keep them separate. So when we tour with Rivers and Robots, I don't play the solo stuff, and I haven't really played much of the solo stuff live at all. I don't know if I will. It's very much a side project for me, and it's just a fun thing that I like to do at home, to produce these kind of things and put them out online. I don't really have an intention to play them live very much. Rivers and Robots is definitely the main focus and the main project and the band that I'm a part of, and we tour regularly with the band, so yeah. Bracken asked, do you play your solo stuff during R&R sets? No. No, we keep them separate. Rivers and Robots, it's a kind of slightly different style of writing, and we get to play all the songs together, and we've worked on them together, and they're the songs that we play live when we're playing with Rivers and Robots. Okay, question from Nance. I'm not even going to try. Nance Delga, I think that is. Talks about, is the sermon excerpt in the beginning of With You by Martin Lloyd-Jones? I've been thinking that it is, so just wanted to know if it was or it wasn't. Grace and Peace. Yes, it is. That is Martin Lloyd-Jones preaching from Psalm 8. I wrote the song from Psalm 8, and it was kind of, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't right to just jump straight into the like melodic part of the song, because it didn't feel like an opening line in some way. It felt like a bridge or something that was leading into the chorus, and I thought, rather than just do what I'd normally do and write a verse and like an opening line, why don't I start with a different kind of sound than just a straight vocal? So I thought I'd try and find a sermon excerpt of Psalm 8, which is what the song's based off, and then kind of start with the sermon, move into the actual vocal. So I had a quick look around, tried to find like old sermons from Psalm 8, and found one by Martin Lloyd-Jones, who I like a lot anyway, so that made me happy. So yeah, that is Martin Lloyd-Jones. What was going through your mind? 3-2 Arn asked, when you wrote Waterfall. The song Waterfall was based on, actually this was a really interesting psalm. I should have prepared this beforehand. I'm going to have to find which one it was now as well. Deep. Sorry, I should have looked this up before. Hi guys, by the way, I'm seeing people saying hello on the things. Okay, while it's just searching for that song, let me check the actual YouTube comments. How do I go back and find the... Do I just scroll? There we go. That Christian Vlogger, hello, hey Justin, how's it going? Hello, hi. Yeah, cool, I see some of the questions further back. Could you tell us the story behind the song Far Away? Yep, I will do that in a sec. So, here we go. Psalm 42. I'll just read it out. This was the inspiration for the song Waterfall. It says, as the deer pants for flowing streams, so my soul pants for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? Going down to like verse 5. Why are you cast down, O my soul? Why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, my salvation. So verse 7 was like the big inspiration for the song Waterfall. It says, deep calls to deep at the roar of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your waves have gone over me. Verse 8, by day the Lord commands his steadfast love, and at night his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life. So it's a really interesting psalm, actually. I first read that and I was like, oh, there's the deep calls to deep verse that I hear quoted a lot in sermons and like songs, and I think traditionally, I don't know, I think that often comes across as being like deep calls out to deep as like a really good thing of like the depth of our soul. Like, I don't know, but reading through this one I was like, it's hard to tell whether that actually is a good thing or a bad thing. And I read a few commentaries around it, and it's a pretty divided opinion on whether, you know, the waves crashing over us is actually a good thing of like waves of love, or it's actually about like the waves of turmoil. Because as you read through the psalm, I think it's one of David's psalms. Oh no, it's the Sons of Korah. That essentially it's from a really difficult place, and they're saying, you know, why is my soul downcast, and my tears have been my food day and night. Is, you know, in a bit of a rough spot, whoever's writing the psalm. And I tend to think that line is maybe about the kind of difficulties of life and not necessarily like... Anyway, so I wrestled with the lyrics a lot because I wanted to make sure I didn't misrepresent what the psalm was actually trying to get at. But I did know that the actual truth of, you know, God's love is the fact that God's love is like a waterfall. It is endlessly deep, that you never run out of experiencing God's love, and you can never reach the end of his love for you. So I guess it came out of a place of just knowing that God's love's deep and as deep as an ocean, which is also what the song In the Ocean's about. And I was kind of thinking about, at the same time, the story of the woman at the well, and Jesus talks about, never thirsting again, and the kind of the water of life, and just there's all these different images of water in the Bible, and it being used to represent like the love of God and being filled with his presence and all that kind of stuff. So that is basically what the song's about. And then the bridge obviously is from verse 1, as the deer pants for flowing streams, so my soul pants for you, O God. So that's obviously like talking about a longing for water, and then God's love being like that water. And it's a cool bit of imagery. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around Psalm 42, but I think it's a fascinating psalm, and there's some really interesting stuff in there. So that is cool. Right, that's all the questions on Instagram, so I will go and answer some of these YouTube questions now. Rivers and Robots Brazil. Do you have a specific time of prayer or perspective when before you begin/continue new projects? That's a good question. I try as much as I can to keep prayer as a regular rhythm thing, and not so much, I don't know. I suppose if I'm about to start a song, I will pray and just say, Lord, would you inspire this song, and help me to write melodies that come from you, and be the inspiration in this creative process, and help me to write something that glorifies you and reveals something of who you are. So it's always done in a kind of prayerful atmosphere, posture. But yeah, we always try and keep that regular rhythm of prayer, and that's a big part of our life as Christians. Is your EP available on Spotify? Yes, it is. Hey, Luciana. It's on Spotify. Just type in Jonathan Ogden, and there's a By the Streams EP. There's also Winter and now Spring. Teresa says there's a bad connection. That's annoying. If anyone else is experiencing a bad connection, let me know. Okay, Shane, do you make enough money from R&R to survive, or do you do anything else? And have you found a drummer? So the way that we actually set up as Set Sail is that we live as missionaries. So we're actually supported by churches, by our friends and family, and people that basically believe in the vision and support what we're actually doing. Because for us it's about being way more than just a band. We're not just making music and putting it out online, but we're actually taking worship and taking the presence of God into gig venues and club venues all around the UK and beyond. And the way we see what we do is that it's missional work. We're actually making Jesus known through art and through creativity, not just in the band, but also through YouTube, also through the events that we run in Manchester called Gather. And we have a lot of plans for new creative projects that aren't related to the band and aren't even anything musical, but are going to be creative projects that make known the person of Jesus. So we've chosen to live as missionaries, and we actually, all the money that the band makes, we don't pay to ourselves. We use it to do more missions work and fund all the work that needs doing, essentially. So Rivers and Robots kind of sustains itself over here, and then we live as missionaries, and that's how we work. So I do it full time, so does Nathan, but we do also have little extra things that aren't like a regular job, but like I do a bit of freelance design work, and Nathan does a bit of work on the side as well that's just like temping jobs and that kind of thing, and bits of freelance work. So it's kind of, we have little extra side projects that are also earners which help out, but essentially we are sustained full time as missionaries. Please come to Peru, that would be great. When will you come to Leeds? Hopefully soon. I mean, Leeds isn't too far, it's like an hour away from us. Okay, scrolling back. Already done that one. Which DAW do you use? I use Ableton Live. I've been using that since the first Rivers and Robots album. I did that about 6 years ago, and yeah, Ableton Live. It is my favourite. I used to use Fruity Loops actually, which is it's alright. You can produce some crazy techno house, but I moved from Windows to Mac, and then the Mac didn't have Fruity Loops, so I started using Ableton after that. That Christian vlogger. Curious to learn more about my life. You're going into my personal history now. Oh, there we go. Okay, Justin's asking if I'm dating anyone. No, I'm single, and happily single, thank you. On Spotify, Sao Paulo is number 1 on Rivers and Robots listeners. Oh, cool. That is really cool, actually. Yeah, Brazil, there seems to be a massive audience for our music, which is cool. Will you drop a freestyle rap right now? No. We need Montel Fish for that. Okay. Oh yeah, the song story behind Far Away. Cool. The song Far Away, let me think. That was... Okay, yeah, so the Far Away song kind of came from a position that I've been kind of thinking through at the moment, because I have a tendency... I don't really know where this comes from necessarily, but I can get into this mindset every now and then where it's like I feel like I have to perform, and I think it's an easy trap to fall into, to try and like live this performance-based relationship with God, and like that whole thing of like I feel like I need to pray this much in a week and like read my Bible every day and make sure I'm doing these things, and if I forget to do those things or like have a week where my routine's like messed up, I feel really bad and really guilty, and I feel like I'm now far away from God because I didn't do all those things this week. And not to put down the discipline of spending time reading the Bible and praying, I absolutely think that's vital and important, and every Christian should be doing that, and just out of a position of loving God, and not like, it's a difficult one to explain, but you know, like I can try and guilt trip myself into like, oh, I really need to do this, otherwise God's going to be mad, which isn't true. But I do it out of a place of I'm in relationship with God and I love God and I want to know him more, and the way that I get to know him is by talking to him and spending time with him and reading the Bible. So they're great things to do, but you know, sometimes I get into like the wrong mindset of doing it. So the song Far Away is kind of a little bit about that, of just feeling like even those times where I felt like I was far away, God actually never left me and I wasn't far away. And God's always been like there with us, and his presence is always with us. And yeah, so that's where that kind of that chorus section came from, like you're not far away, you're with me here and now, and there's nothing that can separate me, you know, all those kind of verses. It's kind of a reminder to myself when I get in those moments of just like, oh, I feel so far away, like I should have done all these things to get right with God. It's that reminder that like none of those things earn God's love. Like God loves me regardless of any of that stuff, and even the times where I feel like I'm probably far away, God's never actually left me. So that's what the song Far Away is about. Planet Sim, is this a Christian Bible stream? No, not necessarily. This is the Set Sail channel if you're new here. I'm a missionary. I work with my good friends who are also missionaries. We're part of a band called Rivers and Robots, and we also run a weekly YouTube channel here where we just show some of the behind the scenes. Some of it's just a fun behind the scenes look at what we do in the office. Some of it we share things that we're thinking about. So yeah, this is just our YouTube channel where we kind of share some stuff. Awesome, right. Oh, did I miss another question? I think that's all the questions. Oh, do you have... No, I did that one as well. Okay, cool. Well, guys, thank you for joining. If you've got any more questions, you can throw them in right now for like last couple of minutes, and then I'll be closing the stream. So thank you guys for listening so much, and maybe I'll end with a little song. Maybe I'll play like one of the songs from the EP. Just wanted to say your music is very special, and Panama will be waiting if you want to do a missions or a concert. That would be awesome. I've definitely never been to Panama. That would be so much fun. We do actually have some more trips coming up soon, which I've not announced. We're still working on all the details of it behind the scenes, but we have upcoming trips planned. Some of them gigs, some of them missions. I mean, we kind of see them all as missions anyway, but you know, they take on slightly different forms sometimes. Do you have plans to come to Brazil? I mean, we'd love to come to Brazil. It's definitely a desire that we have, and there's obviously a big audience over there, and a lot of people that listen to the music, so we'd love to come. But so far, we've no like firm plans in terms of connections over there with people that can actually bring us over and like book events for us and that kind of thing. So it's all just a case of finding the right people, you know, based in those places. Cool. Right.